Good morning, traders, and welcome to Trading Waves weekly market analysis, where we will be looking at the market, what is expected in the coming weeks. All right, guys, please take note. What the information that we are sharing here is not a financial advice. Trading Wave is not a financial advisor. That is just for the learning purpose and also for paper trading. Right, guys, before we can look at the markets, how did they perform in the last week and what do we expect going forward? Please do take note. We've got a special that is currently running. You can get a discount up to like 40% of our plans that we have, especially on our educational content. You take any of our majority of our plans, especially from the full course to the lifetime membership, that will give you access, especially the full course and also the full course, which is for 2 years, that will give you access at least for 2 years, and the other one will give you access into our mentorship for 12 months. The long-term plan, it will be discontinued in the coming few weeks, so you can still take advantage of that, where you get to pay only one payment, and then you get access to all our services, even the future services that we provide without paying any single cent after that. Right, so hop into our website, which is trading-waves.com, and then you can look at the plans that are suitable for you. Right, so and for our contact details, guys, if you wish to contact us, you can visit our YouTube page here, which is Trading Waves, especially on our videos that we release over the weekend. Yeah, you can go through that. If you click on that, just below that, we've got our contact details there, our email address, our contact numbers, where you can reach us out on Telegram and also on WhatsApp. Preferable, you can try to reach us on WhatsApp. You've got a Telegram channel there that is on our Telegram channel, where we post a free content, but there's a lot that is happening there. To be honest, we do post our chart of the week. Any chart that we look that is interesting, we do post it there as well, including our weekly outlook. You can also follow us on our social media pages just for the free content on Facebook and also on Twitter as well. We are also available as well on stock tweets. Right, so without wasting any time, guys, let's jump into the market and let's have a look. Before I go any further here, I want to show you this. The chart of the week, if you hop into the website and then you've just looked at this here, this is a chart that we freely share here. Like I've said it is also available on Discord. We do, not on Discord, rather on our Telegram. Talking about Discord, we will be launching our Discord very soon. Maybe in the coming few weeks, there will be a lot that will be happening there. I'm very excited to launch that one. So you will want to hop in there and check out what is going on. Right, so the chart of the week that we posted here, if you did hop onto this or you came across this one on our social media platforms, you will see we posted the chart of the euro hour here, and we were expecting that this is actually, I posted this chart when we were somewhere around this area here. Let me just make it bigger here. I posted this chart actually when we were somewhere around this area here. I think that was the week before the one that ended. We were somewhere around this area here, and I said I expected this is gonna come somewhere around this area here, and from here we're expecting that this is going to drop. So this was just freely shared on the social media pages. You will see, if you have been following Euro Audi, you would see that this came and hit the blue box, and then it has dropped almost about 240 something pips. Yeah, 240 plus pips that has dropped here. So you would have been able to make some money out of this chart here. But we will see that one when we hop into the charts. All right, so let's get into the charts here, and let's have a look what is expected in the market going forward. Right, so the DXY, the idea still remain the same. I guess the big question is, will the dollar pave the way going forward? I do feel like something is looming on the DXY. I do believe that it is very close to show us what is the direction of the market. Right, so I'm expecting, we have been looking at this year, this to have been our wave one. Let me get a clear one here. Um, Let's try this one here. Let me see what colors do I have here that I can use. Let's try this one here. So I have been looking at this to have been wave one here, wave two, this being wave three, and then this to have been wave four here, this being wave five. So this being our wave A. I've showed you this viewer here, but some people were not clear. How am I looking at this to be an impulsively mover here? And obviously, we are looking at this to be a 3-3-5 structure here. This being a three-wave move higher, this being a three-wave move lower here, and then this to be at least the five-wave move to the upside here. For now, we are looking at this to have completed the wave B here. This being wave B. Now the expectation is for this one to drop lower here for our wave C. At least in terms of size, I would be expecting something that would be relevant to this one here. And then from there, that's when I expect to see this big move to the up side on the DXY. I've shared this one a couple of times, spoken about it, so I don't think it's a surprise to a lot of people here. But now we are somewhere around this area here. I guess the big question is, are we gonna take this high here, or we just gonna drop from here? Obviously, I want to see this one dropping lower here, but there is still that possibility that we might still maybe see maybe a leg, one more leg higher here that might give us something like this, and then probably maybe we come up with some divergence here. Then this might start to drop. I don't think that the DXY it is going to make this big move to the upside. To be honest, here, if it does, then it will be a different story. But for now, I think we can all agree here that this has been coming down impulsively here, so we still need to see at least a structure that's going to be related to this one. Then we have this as a three-wave move structure. Then from there, that's when I can expect to see a move to the upside on the DXY. But right now, I just want to see this one dropping. Obviously, it would be nice if we can get some confirmation here around this area here for a DXY. So for now, what it did last week here, it just made this drop lower here, made a drop lower here, and it came up impulsively here. Well, what we saw here that this has dropped lower here, and then this has made a move up. Two things that we might have here, that this one was just completing wave 4 here, then we get this one to trade as far as this high here, and then maybe it create a wave 5, and then from there that's when we start to see a drop. But what is very likely is that this might have been a drop lower here, and then this might just be an expanding flat, obviously against this high here. This is forming an expanding flat like this here, and then this just drop lower here. Again, it can still even do something like this, drop lower here, come around this area here, make a move to the upside, and then it drop to the down side. That is still very possible. But for now, what I would love to see is for this one to just continue with this drop. Then from there, that will be very likely that the rest of the other US dollar pairs, they will do as expected. So that should be my approach on a DXY, that against this swing high here, as long as it's still holding, a leg to the downside might be seen, whether it comes to the equal legs of this here and then make a move to the upside. But this move here, we should see it, but very likely that it is just going to extend all the way to the down side. Right, so let's see how that is going to be unfold on the DXY. We do have the possibility of both scenarios, that it break that high or it just drop lower here. Now let's have a look at the Euro US dollar here. Obviously, the two instruments are negatively correlated. If you are expecting that your DXY it is going to drop lower, so that will mean your Euro US dollar should make a move to the upside. They are negatively correlated. So far we have been looking at the Euro US dollar to have made this move to the upside here, and then just like the DXY, this to be an expanding flat corrective structure here. So the expectation is that this is going to eventually make a move to the upside. Now it is starting very correctively here. I won't lie. If you zoom into this, you will see that this has made here at least something that appears to be a three-wave move structure here. If you look at this here, you will see that this looks like a three-wave move structure here. Not like that. This being your three-wave move higher here. A lot of people are expecting that this is going to drop. Yeah, it might drop. but it's so common that in the market will do this three-wave move structure. Yeah, very few people look at it as a 1-2-1-2. Most of the people, or rather, not even a 1-2-1-2. This to be a wave one, and then this just becomes your running flat corrective structure. Yeah, and if this being a running flat, that might mean the move that we might see here might be very aggressive to the upper side. So if this is going to hold here and does not break this swing low here, then we would be very that this is just a running flat corrective structure here. I know it's not common on your wave two, and then this immediately just makes a move to the upside. Yeah. Alternatively, it might just give us one more leg lower here, break this swing low here, and then from there it start to give us this move to the upper side. I'm not entertaining any shorts right now on the euro US dollar. I would prefer that these start to give us a move to the upside, but obviously we're gonna have to wait. You do not have to just immediately buy into this here just because our views are from this move to the upside. Yeah, you need to have something that is going to confirm. We use a specific indicator that let us know when these moves are ready. Yeah, when it is ready, then we get to the indicator and let us know that this might be ready for a move to the upside. But a simple one without just applying an indicator, yeah, get an impulsively move that will be confirming here that this might be ready. Once you get an impulsively move, then your three-way move pull back. That's when you might consider to jumping into a trade. And then if you get something like this as an impulsively move, you're gonna have at least a fixed error of your stop loss here. So that's why I say a confirmation is needed before you can just immediately buy into this here. As for the bearish move, for now I don't see any bearish move unless, of course, if this was to extend lower here, maybe this drop lower here, and then maybe does something like this. That's the only time I can expect that this might still continue with the move to the down side. For now, I'm expecting that this is going to trade higher. Let's have a look at your pound US dollar here. Pound US dollar, I'm still expecting that this should make a move to the upside. However, we need to see what could cause this one to drop lower. I don't expect it to drop all the way to the downside and come to around this swing low. The least that we can see. For now, I expect that this is going to make a move to the upside. Made a three-wave move. Excuse me. Let me just change this. I'm just using a different tool here. It's my first time I'm using this tool. So we've had this one made a three-wave move to the upside here. And then this made another three-wave move lower here. Now, this could be a three-wave move to the upside. I wanted to see this here at least to trade to the equal legs to this one here. So there is that possibility that this might be done here. This being your W here, your wave X here, and then this to be your wave Y. If that's the case, that will mean from these highs here, we are correcting this whole move. Okay, we are correcting this range here. If that's the case, we've seen this one dropping lower here. Somebody might even say this is going to be a five-wave move. If that's the case, we are correcting this whole move here, then we might see something like this here that will bounce in a three-wave move structure here and then still drops lower here. Then maybe this being your ABC, this being your ABC structure here, and then that's when maybe we start to see a move to the upside. Obviously, this being your W, your X, your wave Y here, that will be there will be a W here. Maybe let me just use a different color here so that I don't confuse you guys here. So there might be a W here that is just completed here, and then this becomes a wave X somewhere here. Then it will head higher for a wave Y to the upside. That is just something that is very likely to play out here. But where that pound US dollar it is now, I expect to see a move to the upside, be a three-wave move bounce or be that move that will take us all the way to the upside. Remember that so far, since I was expecting that this was going to get to the equal legs here, I was looking at this three-wave move here. I will even show you another view, this being a three-wave move. I was expecting to see this here to be a three-wave move, but now I'm looking at this and then I'm trying to compare this with this size here. Already this is going to be big, unless if this makes a move to the upside, then it still does qualify to be that three-wave structure that I'm expecting to the upside. Right, so somebody else could be looking at it this way here. This being your wave one, your wave two here, this being your wave 3, and then this being your wave 4 here, and then maybe this being your wave 5. If that's the case, that will even be similar to your pound Audi. I'll show you that when we get to pound Audi. If that's the case, then this support that we get this one here, maybe to even do something like this here. something like this here, and then just maybe drop lower here. But the simple one, just to keep it so simple, it will just be an ABC structure like this here before we can get one to make a move to the up side. But for now, I just want to see a reaction to the upside here on the pound US dollar. If this becomes impossibly here and start to continue a three-wave move, then we're just going to look at this one here to complete this three-wave move structure. Right, so let's have a look at your next one here. That will be your US dollar chief. So US dollar chief, I've spoken about this one here, that one could look at this one to have been an impulsively move, especially that it is positively correlated to your DXY. From these highs here, this to have been a five-wave move to the downside. This being your wave one here, wave two, three here, wave four, and then this to be a wave five. And then this being your expanding flat corrective structure here. So obviously this completing your wave A here, and then this being your wave B here. So this could have started a move to the downside, being your wave one. So it would be nice to get at least a three-wave move structure here against this swing high here. Then we get something that is going to be like this: your three here, your wave four here, and then your wave five. Then that's when we might look for this move to the upside. Obviously, this will be your wave C around this area here. So that's what I'm looking at on the US dollar chief. So it should still continue with a bearish move to the downside. But like I've said it, against this swing high here, and then if it does give us a three-wave move pull back, at least get to around your 56.8 here. It has made a move here. If it does give us a structure like this, then we will be looking for this one being our wave one here, then this to be our wave two, and then this drop to the downside. But like I've said it, this will be on invalidation level. If it gets invalidated, then it's going to be a different story. Your Audi US dollar here, obviously, I'm expecting that the US dollar pairs, the US dollar based pairs, that they make a move to the upside here. We can't run away from this. Audi US dollar made a move to the upside here. This being your three-wave move to the upside here. So I've been looking at this one to have dropped lower here in what appears to be a three-wave move structure here. So I'm looking at this to be your one here, your two, your three here, or wave four here, and then this to be an ending diagonal here. So this might have already ended here as an ending diagonal. If it breaks out of this here, then it might be time to look for this move to the upside. That will be your W here, this being your wave X here, and then this to be your wave Y. Obviously, this being your wave Y here, that will mean it will come in a form of a three-wave move. But remember, it doesn't have to be this WXY. It can just be your 335 structure here, and then this just comes up here impassively, depending how does it come around this to the up side, and then we will label it according to this. Impassively move up here, then it's an ABC, but if it remains in a three-way move, then we are going to remain the structure to be a WXY corrective structure. But like I've said it has to at least break out of this a trend line here. It would be nice just to have this one here. If it breaks out of this here, preferable come and check out this high here, and then start to give you a through pullback. Then from there, against this swing low, we can start to look for a bullish move to the up side. Right, so your New Zealand US dollar, obviously, we are expecting to see a move to the upside as well here. So from these highs here, the very same thing that we are seeing on your Audi US dollar here, we had this impulsively move to the upside here, and then all of a sudden we had this three-wave move structure here. We had this as a three-wave move, this being our connector here, and then we've got this one to have dropped here. Obviously, we are looking at this to be an A here, wave B here, and then we've looked at this one to have already completed this wave C, this being your 1, 2, or 3 here, and then this to have been your wave 4 here, this being your wave 5. So we are going to be looking for a move that is going to be related to this one here. Made a move to the upside, that could be our wave A here, this being your wave B here. So we are expecting to see a wave C that will be relevant to this one here. Then from there, that's when we might expect to see the big one to the downside. So for now, against this swing low here, especially, we are still expecting that this will eventually make this move to the upside. Again, do not just go and buy into this here. It would be nice if this can make an impulsively move,
take these highs here and then maybe start to give us this through a pullback. This V shape here, it's very important. Once you get that one, then you get a through a pullback, then this is when this might be ready for a move to the up side. So for now, don't just blindly trade that one there. US dollar CAD, you will remember that last week I was expecting that this was going to drop here, especially against this high. I was expecting to see some pullback because from these lows here, this remember that coming from this, we've looked at this one to have dropped lower here. Three, we've moved to the upside here, and then this to have dropped as an ending diagonal here. So we were looking at this here to be an A B C structure here. This being an A B here, the wave C that is completing the wave 2 here. So we're expecting that obviously this to make a move to the upside. But if you look at this from these lows here, this appeared to have already completed the 5 wave moves here. So that's why I was expecting that this might drop here and then maybe we get a 3 wave move started like this before we see a continuation. But what we saw here with the US dollar CAD, it has broken above this here. So this should still continue the move to the upside. But it's very likely again that this is going to be expected to start to give us a drop. This being a 1 here, a wave 2, this could just be wave 3 here, then this being your wave 4. Then internally here, we have this one to be your wave 1 here, your wave 2 here, your wave 3, a 4 here, and then this to be a wave 5. So it would be very risky that you can just immediately buy into this here. So this is in the verge of giving us this pullback. So before you can consider to jump into this for a trade here, at least a pullback will be nice here on a US dollar CAD before we can look for that move to the up side. So that would be my approach, at least to wait for a bigger pullback before we can see a continuation. Some people might be a bit confused. Why do I expect your US dollar based pair to make a move to the upside while I expect the other US dollar code pairs to make a move higher? Well, based on the correlation, you would expect that this should drop lower here if the other US dollar pair they drop. But technically, right now, it says it must make a move to the upside. Something that might happen maybe to your Brent crude oil that might cause that this just continues with this move to the up side. Technically, and the correlation, they are not in line right now, but I am responding to the technical view point because we're coming down with your US dollar CAD from these lows a year when we said this was ready for a move to the upside. So that's where the TA to the upside is coming from those lows. Through a pullback to the downside will be a buying opportunity on your US dollar CAD. Right, so jumping into the yen pairs, your US dollar JPY, it is almost at this invalidation level here. So I have been looking at this one that it should drop against this swing high. I've looked at this to have been an impulsively move to a downside, made a move to the upside here. I've showed you this one that we could even be having this one being to have been a running flat in the middle here, and then this to make a move to the upside. But I do not like the way that this has already approach this year. It has corrected this almost like 90%. Yes, the Elliott wave rule, it says your wave 2 should not go to the start of a wave 1 as long as it's still holding below or above that. In this case, below this swing high here, this is still expected that it must start to drop, and then we have this as your wave 1 here, and then this to be your wave 2. It's just that I don't like your wave 2 that corrects up to like your 90%, but I'm expecting that this is going to drop, especially that the DXY, it is expected that it is done with that expanding flat corrective structure. So we are somewhere here with the DXY. I expect it to drop lower here, so I would expect that the US dollar JPY, it is positively corrected to a DXY, that it will eventually give us a drop. But we need to see some confirmation around this area here, at least an impulsively move, or at least get your 5 wave move here, even if it's on the 1 hourly time frame. Get a 5 wave move. If it will even be more nice if it can come to around this swing low here, then once you start to see a 3 wave move pullback here, then you can, this will be almost rest assured that it is going to drop to the down side. Right, so obviously you're not gonna wait for this big drop here because this will be almost like above 500 pips, just this move alone. Yeah, so what you'll want to do is at least on your lower time frame, if you get a impulsively move here and then start to give you this sort of pullback, especially on your 1 hour time frame, then you can attempt to look for this one. Just position yourself that this is going to be ready for a big drop to the down side. all in all, it depends on what that DXY is going to do. Right, so let's look at your pound yen here. So pound yen here, I want to see this one dropping lower here. But like I've said it, that as much as I want to see this one dropping lower, there is still this possibility here. Three-wave move lower here on your pound yen, and then this to have been a move to the upside. This might still drop in a three-wave move, and then just comes around this area here, and then it just build an expanding flat corrective structure, and then it makes this a move. That is very possible that it might play something like that. But I want to see this one dropping all the way to the downside. So if you look at this from these highs here, this might have dropped in an impulsively move here, this being maybe your wave one, your wave two here, a three here, wave four, and this should be now wave five. Now this could have made a sharp move to the upside here, but the way this is trading lower here, it does not look promising that it's going to drop immediately. So that's why I expect that there is something like this on a pound yen that we might see. We might still see this one here giving us a move to the upside, obviously against this swing high here, and then this might start to give us this drop lower. Obviously, if it drop from here, come and check out this swing low here, then it will be very likely that it is going to continue from there. But let's see if can we get that one to give us that pullback around this area here or something like this here, and then this move up. If it does that, then against this here, we're still looking for short move down side. Right, so let's have a look at your Euro JPY. So Euro JPY, I still wanna see this one here to trade to the upside. At least one more leg higher here would be nice. I'm just taking it from here. I'm looking at this one to have made a move to the upside, but made a three-wave move over here. So I'm looking for this to at least make this move to the upside. One more leg up here, we might see here. And from there, that's when if we do get an impulsively move, that's when I can start to look for this bearish move to the downside. Now remember that your gold, it is making a move to the upside here on gold. This keep on happening on gold. So the gold, it is negatively correlated to the yen pair. So you would expect that when your gold is making a move to the upside, the yen pairs are going to drop. I understand that what could be moving gold now is the geopolitics that are happening around the world with the war that is happening here. So that's why you've seen gold made a big move to the upside, but the yen pairs, they did not react lower here. So that's why say that gold might be driven by what is happening around the world. But then technically, we've seen some of the yen pairs, they're starting to give us some move to the downside on Friday, just like your chief yen here as well. It started to give us a drop. Right, so but let's have a look at your chief yen here. Chief yen, I was expecting to see this one here, to have made this move to the downside, to have been our wave four. That's what we have been looking at, this to have been our wave four here. We're looking at this to be our wave five, even though I was still expecting this a little bit of a move high here before we drop. But Friday, what we saw here, this started to give us a drop lower here. Now, against this swing high here, if Chief Yen does give you this here on your lower time frame here, give you a three-wave move against this, then this is going to be expected. It's going to give us a structure like this. It might be a five-wave move. Check out this swing low here, and then maybe pull back like this here, and then it's time for the drop to the downside. But with what we saw here on a Friday, very likely that this might just continue with this drop. Obviously, it's going to be a very big one to the downside here on your chief yen. So the technicals might be kicking in there other than what we saw on gold. But I'm expecting that this yen chief yen here must start to give us a move to the downside. Obviously, I'm gonna be honest here with your US dollar chief expected to drop lower here. Then I don't, I wouldn't expect that your chief yen would just drop here. So if US dollar chief is in this three-wave move corrective structure that we saw, then it might not be a surprise. If you start to see something like this here, obviously we might have just short this one here. But if you start to see something that will come around at the equal legs of this, your US dollar chief start to react lower here, then this is going to react to the upside. That will mean that was just a wave one of a wave five here, this being your wave two, and then three and a four and a five before this can drop lower. Just looking at that correlation between your chief. That's so Yen. We were expecting this one that it should drop as from last week. You can refer to the weekly outlook that we had last week that we expected that this should drop. The least that we can see here is for this one to at least drop lower here, because it could even be something like this, that this is just going to be a three-wave move here that can come around this area here, or even come down in an impulsively move, and then from here it might just be the structure here, and then it makes a move to the upper side. So that is just something that we discussed last week. But for now, I'm still favoring that this should still drop a year. We're just being cautious that when we get around this area here, we need to be careful because it's a structural level. It might just react to the upside. But if you've been able to maybe get into a short around this area here, you can just hold on to this one. I expect it to trade low. But one thing you need to be careful of is that as much as I'm looking at this structural level, if this is your running flat corrective structure here, then it does not need to get to this area here this year. It might just somewhere around this area here, and then this just make a move to the upside. So you gotta be careful. Just keep on adjusting your stop loss, especially if you were able to jump into a trade around this area here. Right, so your New Zealand yen and Audi yen, these two yen pairs, they've been straightforward. We've been talking about this year last week, that structurally we still see this one here giving us a move lower here. Made a three-wave move to the downside here, made a three-wave move to the upside here. It is expected that this might drop in a three-wave move, at least to come back to around this area here, 8500 area here. Then that's when I might start to see this possibility of a move to the upside. That will be the structure here that we are seeing. After this move to the upside, a structure here, then we'll eventually look for a structure that will or a move that will take this one to the upper side. But for now, I'm gonna be expecting that we get this one to drop lower here before we can expect a move higher. It will be the same as well um, with your Audi yen here. We've spoken about this one here, Audi yen. Aurian, the same year that we were looking at this one to have been a three-wave move to the downside that we saw a year. So the expectation is this three-wave move to a downside here, made a three-wave move to the upside a year. So I'm expecting to see this three-wave move a year. So we'll be expecting that this is going to drop at least to come back to around this area here. Then from there, that's when I can expect to see a continuation move to the upper side. What we've seen a year, made a move to the upside a year, made a drop, three-wave move to the upside here. This might still give us something like this, drop lower here, one more leg up here, but obviously don't want to see this to take this high here and then this drop. Then this would be a three-wave move lower here, a three-wave move to the upside here, and then this becomes a three-wave move lower here. But eventually it should come somewhere around this area here. That's what I'm going to be expecting, that this might give us a move to the upper side. Right, so just keep in mind, we do our services here. They include looking at these charts every day just before the London Open. That's when we do our chart update on the 1 hourly chart. And just when New York is opening, we also do the updates there. So at least we've got somebody that is always looking at the market, or your third AI if you are a member. Right, so you're already the one I've spoken about this one a year, that we have been looking at this one, that it should make a move to the down side a year. I'm going to show you this one. We were looking at this a year. This is the one that I shared a year as a chart of the week, that I'm expecting to see this big drop to the downside. But like I've said it here, if you've been able to just look into this one a year, from this area of a blue box a year, we saw this one, it has traded lower 279 pips to the down side a year. So you would have been able to make some money here. Obviously, it even gave you an opportunity. It came back into the blue box here, and then it dropped again. Now, guess what? Here, if your Audi US dollar, it is ready for a move to the upside, then this is will be supported that it drop all the way to the downside. Yeah, it looks impassive here. Three-wave move pullback here. Somebody might even look at it this way, that this is a three-wave move this way here. Made a move to the upside here, made a three-wave move here. This being your running flat, one might look at it this way here, and then this will be a move here. This being your ABC. If that's the case, that still may came into the blue box. Obviously, the blue box will be adjusted if this is how you are looking at. So we have been looking at this here to be a correction here, and then this to have been this three-wave move, and then this drop lower. I still expect that this is going to drop. Like I've said, it has moved about 279 pips to the downside here. So you will definitely intraday trading, you would have made some money there. But let's have a look. What do we expect going forward on your Euro Audi, and also look at the alternative view? I understand I showed you a bearish move to the downside, but again, just by looking at the chart here, I'm paying attention to this level here, because like I've said it the other day, that this could just be a structure like this here, and then these drops and come around this area here. If it starts to react around this area here, then you're gonna be having this to have been your W here, this being your wave X here, and then this to be your wave Y, and then this starts to make this move to the upside. I'm paying attention to that structure. So our target for now here is for this one to get around this area here. We get around this area here, then we will be offloading some position. Obviously, we will be leaving some, because this could just be an ABC here, and then it just make that move to the upside, especially if your Audi US dollar just keeps on dropping to the down side, then this might be supporting that bullish move higher. Right, so your Euro New Zealand obviously positively correlated to your Euro Audi here. So far, what we have been looking at, the structure on your Euro Audi, it is more clear. So we have been using Euro Audi to see what is expected on a Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand made a drop to the downside here. So we have been looking at this, that this might be an ABC with a very extended C wave here. But obviously, against this swing high, it should not break above this. For whatever reason here, the price was decided to come around this area here, then you gotta forget about the bearish view. Then we start to look for this one to continue with the move to the upside. Now, the nice thing about this one is that we are not trading this one here. What we're waiting for here is for this one here to at least give you an impulsively move, because it does not have a clear structure here. Euro out is the one that has got a clear structure. Once we get an impulsive move as a confirmation here, then we see it through a pullback, then against this swing high, that's when we can start to look for that bearish move to that down side on your Euro New Zealand. Right, as for EuroCat, I did talk about this one last week, that I expect that this is going to drop lower here. I have been looking at this one to have been a 5-wave move to the downside from these highs here. This to have been a 5-wave moves here, this being our wave A. We've been looking all along this to have been our wave B here, and expecting that this is our wave 1, our wave 2 here, this being our wave 3, and then this being our wave 4 here. Well, we are looking at the possibility of this being our wave 5. Obviously, it's a diagonal that might be expanding. Not my favorite one here, but we've got this here as an invalidation level around this high here. If this was to break out of this here, then what is very likely to happen here? I don't like it, truth be told. I don't like to look at it this way, this being an A here, and say this being a 3-wave move here, 3-wave move lower here, and then maybe this being your 1, your 2, your 3 here, and then this still drop. Yes, can still be out like that, but I wouldn't like to see this be a corrective structure, especially after this impulsively move. So if it break out of this year, EuroCat comes and take this year, then it will be very likely that this did not get to the equal legs. Instead, it terminated at the 0.618. Then this being your wave 1, your wave 2 here, then probably have to look at the wave 4 to have been a here, and then this should be a wave 5. Then this being your 1, your 2 here, then we're gonna have to look at the pullback. If it pull back in a through a move, then that's when we can look to jump it into a trade. So those are the both possibilities, the bearish and the bullish scenario there. Euro Chief has spoken about this one, that it should still drop to the downside here. So two things that we might see here that I've spoken about last week, that we could have this one here made a move to the upside, drop lower here, and then just pump its back and come around this here, and then we have this as the structure before this can continue with the drop. Well, obviously, for now, I'm looking at this here, that if you zoom into this year, I'm looking at it to still drop lower here, because this made a move to the downside, here, made a move to the downside, and then all of a sudden we are seeing this through a move structure. So against this swing high here, I'm gonna be expecting that this is going to continue here. Remember, this is a structure that I'm expecting here, maybe a bigger corrective structure here that will be bigger than this one, and then this one to still continue with this move. So against this swing high here, Euro Chief should still drop lower. If it breaks out this high here, then we are very likely that we are going to get back to around this area here. Around it might trade back to around your 1.009 area before it can drop back lower. Euro pound, looking at this one here, that it should drop here again. Yeah, these are I've shared this one last week that I'm expecting that your Euro pound should drop here. Looking at this to be a 335 structure here, so I will be expecting this. Made it through a move up, made it through a move lower here. This looks like a 5-way move to the upside here, 335. So I'm gonna be expecting to see a continuation. If it continues to make a move to the upside here, then we are very likely that this might make a drop to the downside here, a move up here, this being your three-wave move lower here, and then this makes a move to the upside and come around this high before we can drop lower here, and then this continuation move to the up side. So if it give you an impulsively move, preferable, it must break below this. If it make a move to the downside, break below this here, then that will be almost confirming that I'm ready for the move to the downside before we can talk about that bullish move. For now, we just want to see your euro pound dropping lower. It will even be it would just to be accurate here, you just have a trend line here. See here, if this drop starts to break below this here, pulls back here, then we can start to look for a short move to the down side. So pound pairs, one of those that are very interesting here. To be honest, if you pay attention on the pound pairs, I do believe that they are going to give us something juicy here. I've made a video on your pound Audi trying to explain and detailing why do I expect a move that can give us almost about 1,000 pips that I'm expecting to see on your pound Audi here. But we gotta track what is going to happen around this area here. Now let me show you this on a daily time frame. Why do I expect this? Pound Audi from these lows here, it has made a three-wave move to the upside, made a move here, and then a move to the upside. Yep. Now, I do believe that we are in the correction of this cycle from these lows to these highs here. We gotta have to at least get to about your 50% retracement a year, at least your 38.2 before we can look for a move to the upside. This year, if you look at this looks impulsively here. So, but the reason why I say at least about 1,500 pips is coming here is because of this three-way move structure here. Guess what? You get this 1,000 pips to the downside, then come and hold on and expect about 2,000 pips to the up side here. Once you've got this move to a downside here, then expect about 1,000 pips, 2,000 pips from around this area here. So this is gonna be a big one to the upside, but this 1,000 pips, it's very big move to the down side. Now let's zoom into this lower time frame here, your 4-hourly time frame here. Like I've said it, you can refer to our YouTube channel here. I've made a video of this one explaining it in detail. Made a 5-wave move to the downside here that we saw here. Now, what we've got here, I know when I made the video, we were somewhere here. We're expecting this to make a move up here, but the market does not move in a straight line. So if you look into this here, it has made a move to the upside here. That is in a 3-wave move, a 3-wave move to a downside here. Now the expectation is for this one to do something like this. I'll show you something here. It might do this, and then that's when we might see this big move here. Okay, so this would be a simple W here, your wave X here, and then this to be a wave Y. Then that's when we might see the bearish move to the downside. I will make a video once we are close to where I'm looking at this to get around this area here. I will make a video and do an update on your pound Audi when this might be ready for that 1,000 pips drop to the down side. But this looks good here that it will eventually trade lower. You will see that all the pound pairs, there is something that is coming there on all of them across the board. The structures are the same. Your pound New Zealand made the same thing here. 3-wave move from these lows to this high here. Now we need to get this one to pull back at least get to around your 56.1.8 here. Then that's when we can expect to see this move high. This being your W here, your wave X here. So we're gonna be expecting to see your big move to the upside. Now this has already came down impulsively here. So what does it tell you? This is your wave A. Now we're just simply looking at this to be our wave B. We are looking for a wave C to the downside here. Now it's a matter of, is this done a year? Is it time to drop a year, or this is yet to do something like this, make a move here, and then still make a move to the upside like this before it can drop lower. But looking very interesting. I'm observing those one back to back. Your pound chief, if you paid attention to last week video, I did say that this might be ready to give us a big move to the upside here. So from these lows, what we saw here, that this made a move to the upside here. Then, like I said yesterday, the last weekend, that this is a three-wave move lower here, and then a three-wave move to the upside here. This being a three-wave move to a downside. I'm simply looking at this one to be a W here, your wave X here. This to be a wave Y after made an impulsively move here in the 5-wave move. So these to have been your wave A here. Your wave B might be complete here. It might be complete here. It might be time for this move to the upside, your wave C, that is going to be relevant to this one here. So look out for this one. Something very big might be coming on your pound chief. But so your pound CAD here looking good as well here. Again, like I said, the pound pairs, they've got to give us something juicy here, all of them across the board. But now is a matter of, are these corrective structures done, or they are still yet to be completed? Yeah, I still expect that your pound CAD is going to give us a move to the downside here. Again, this being an impulsively move to the upside here, and then we're seeing this three-wave move lower here. This is not enough, does not have the right look. That's why I expect this to make a structure like this, three-wave move to a downside here. This being your W here, this to be your wave X here, and then your wave Y. Once we can get such big corrective structure, then it will have the right look. That's when we might be ready for this big move to the upside. So if you pay attention to those pound pairs, you are definitely going to get the very big move that the group it is waiting for there. But I think I'm disclosing too much there. But might be an early Christmas for you guys to make money as well there. Right, so let's have a look at your precious metal, your gold here. So gold, I've also made a video on this one. That what is next on gold here. I was not expecting this high to be taken out here. But I'll explain to you that why was this high being taken out? What is my view and behind this high being taken out here? So we saw the last move on a Friday here, giving us almost about 300 pips to the up or 300 points to the upside here. But again, we have been expecting this move. I've even showed you last week. You can refer to gold that how we've been able to forecast all this move to the downside here, that this was going to drop, and this big move here. How we look at this big move here. We were expecting this big move here. Yes, we might have missed to trade it a year because we were expecting a little bit of a move lower from a year. I was expecting this to get somewhere around this area here, and then that's the move that I was expecting. Unfortunately, did not get there, but then we were able to catch it out on your silver. Now, gold has made this move here. No doubt, confirmation to the upside. We've seen here, especially after we took out this trend line here and then these highs. We've seen this move to the upside here. Now, I still believe that this should still give us a pullback here. It should still give us a pullback here. If it does not, then it's gonna be a miss for me personally. I know some other group members here, they have been able to get into around these levels there. They got in here and they are still holding for this until we see this trend will pull back. That's when the big guys, the investors are here, those that miss to take it from these lows are here. That's when they can look to jump in when we get this pullback. It's gonna be very difficult that you can just immediately look to jump into this. This is a already rising knife. If you try to buy this yeah, this might give you a very big bite, and then it just pulls back on you like this before it can make a move to the up side. Now I want to show you this on the weekly time frame here. Gold has made this move to the up side. On Friday, gold was still trading here. Now, gold was going to make this year to be an inside bar if it did not make that impulsively move and come and break this high. Guess what? If this has made this to be an inside bar, this was going to be a free money on gold. This was going to be a free money here, especially for intraday trading. Because once you get an inside bar, you get a move to the upside, like and you get an inside bar. This is just a continuation pattern here. Now, let me show you this on a daily time frame. What do I mean about this? And this is something that I discuss in with our members here. We saw gold rallied up here, and all of a suddenly it made this inside bar here. this inside bar, this one in green here, it made this inside bar here on gold, and then this was a free money here. This was a free money. This is what I explained to our members, that gold with this inside bar here, it is giving us a free money here. So when we saw this here close here at the daily close, I said gold is gonna come here. Intraday trading, if you're looking at this here, is gonna come at least a minimum this high here, but it should continue simply because of this inside bar that we saw here. So last week here on a weekly candle close, it avoided to be an inside bar because it was going to give out free money. So my approach has not yet changed here, because what we've seen with silver, on the other hand, it did not make this big move up on Friday. Silver was holding, but my approach going forward is that I want to see this one giving us a pullback here. At least it must be a pullback to at least your 38.2 of this range. 56.1.8 will even be much better before we can look to jump in into your gold. Right, so silver, on the other hand, here the expectation is for this one that it should still continue with the move to the upside, but I do see that this is in the correction here. Like I've said, it gold made a move to the upside, but silver for some reason did not come, because gold broke this high here, but silver did not react to that move. So what is very likely here, though, or what I would love to see, is this one here. Like I've said it, this was a textbook setup here, made this three-wave move to the downside here. This would have been a three-wave move, a lower here, a three-wave move high here, three-wave move lower. Luckily, this one went into the blue box, made a move to the upside. Now, I want to see this here with silver. If it can give me a three-wave move structure like this against this swing low, that's when I would love to buy this one here. If it's gonna follow gold here, then it better be a miss, because it's gonna be very risky that you buy these metals while they've already made this move. Yeah, we need to see some throw move pullback before we can jump into a trade or two. Your platinum, still looking at this one, that it should make a move to the upper side, but what I'm looking at on the platinum here is this. This looks like it is giving us what appears to be an ending diagonal here. So I'm looking at this here, this to be a one, your two here, you have three, or four here. If it can give us this one more leg lower here, and then it break out of this here, very, very powerful reversal pattern. Some people in a price action language, they will call this a falling wedge. Well, in an Elliott wave language, we look at this here to be an ending diagonal. But either whatever term you use here, if you can get this one to start to break out of this here, then you can look at for platinum to also follow those two metals that have made a move to the upside. Right, so let's have a look at your Brent crude oil here. Spoken about this one last week, that two things should happen here with your Brent crude oil. It can make a move to the upside. That's what I said, that your Brent crude oil, I want to see this one to drop lower, because it made this move here. Obviously, might look like a three-wave move. What we saw here, that this made a three-wave move. We had a blue box here around this that somewhere here should trigger your Brent crude oil, let it drop. It has dropped lower here, but would have been even more nicer if this drop all the way come around this area here before it started to give us a pullback. Then I would be expecting to see this big move lower here. But now that we are reacting around this area here, so it's very likely that Brent crude oil might give us something like this, to have made a three-wave move over here, give us a three-wave move to the upside here. Because we are seeing this one reacting here, it might be something like this, three-wave move lower here. If that's going to be the case, then your Brent crude oil will make a move to the upside. That will mean this is your WXY corrective structure here, and then this is going to make that move to the upside. But before it trades higher here, I would still love to see your Brent crude oil drop lower here, this break below this here. Maybe that's when we can entertain the move to the upside. But now, originally, I want to see Brent crude oil to be just trading all the way to the downside here. That's what I would love to see on your Brent crude oil. Jumping into the indices here, let's have a look at this here. Indices, three-wave move structure that we are seeing here. But before I discuss the indices here, I want to go to your S&P 500, because we need to have a look what could cause these indices to drop. Right now, I'm favoring the move to the upside here against a specific level. But what could trigger this move to the downside? Not what I would love to see, but I can't run away from this. This might have made a three-wave move structure to the downside here, and then this makes a three-wave move to the upside here. and then this one could trigger this one to drop a lower here. Then maybe we see a three-way move structure like this here, and then this becomes your W here, your wave X here, and then this to be a wave Y. That's when we see that move to the upside. That's what could trigger the indices to drop a lower. It's more clear here on your S&P 500, but we'll come back here and I show you my preferred view. Let's start with your Nasdaq here. Back to your Nasdaq. Nasdaq here. I am looking at this one that it should still continue with the move to the upside here. Made a nice three-wave move structure here after an impulsively move to the upside. So I would be expecting that this is going to eventually make a move to the upside here. In fact, this looks good for next week. That from here, your Nasdaq, you should at least the minimum that we should see is a three-wave move bounce structure like this. That's only if we are still going to see this three-wave move. Then this becomes your W here, your wave X there, this to be a wave Y, and then this move to the upside. But as far as it is here, this looks complete to me that it is a three-wave move structure here. So I'm gonna be expecting that we should see that move to the upside. I'm just gonna have a trend line here that will even be more nice. If you can break out of that one there, maybe give us a retest, then this will be a good one that you can look for a move to the upside. But this looks good here that it will eventually make a move to the upside. Your Dow Jones here, what could make this one drop to the downside is only if we are having a structure like this. This to have been your three-wave move lower here, your three-wave move to the upside here, and then this just comes down impulsively here. Maybe do something like this here, or maybe it can even be a structure like this, and then we have this one to be your W here, your wave X here, this to be your wave Y, expanding a flat corrective structure like this here before we can see a move to the upside. But for now, I'm favoring that this should make a move to the upside. It would be nice if it can make a move higher here, at least come to around this swing high before it can pull back. Once it does see a three-way move structure after taking out this swing high here, then we're gonna be looking for this one to extend to the upside. So for now, I've been expecting that this is going to eventually make a move higher, but we'll see if, like I've said it, can it get to around this area here. If it get to the structural level somewhere around this area here, this will be expected to start to making a move to the upside. And like I've explained here, that your S&P 500, I'm looking for this one here, especially against this swing low. I don't want to see this come around this area here. This looks complete to me here, so I'm going to be expecting that this is going to start to react to the upside here. Truth be told, I wouldn't want to see this one here, maybe reacting in a three-way move, maybe something like this here, because this will be too big compared to this our because this I'm looking at this being your wave one, your wave two, wave one here. So this wave two will be too big while it is an internal wave. I don't like to see internal wave to be bigger than the structure of the bigger wave, because this would be a smaller degree, this would be a larger degree here, 1 2 1 2. So this would be too big if it was going to be a W correction around this area. That's why I want to see this here making a move to the upside. But if it drop as far as coming around this area here, then it's time to prepare that this is giving us a structure like this before we can see a move to the upside. Right, so let's have a look at your DAX here. DAX, looking for this one here to be done here as well. So we have been looking at this one to be an impulsively move to the upside from these lows to this high here. And then this being a three-way move, at least it has been to 38.2. So I'm going to be expecting to see this one to make a move to the upside. Yeah. Now this one here, it does have that possibility it might do something like this. Three-way move higher here, and then this still drop lower here. Then it gets to around your 56.8 of this range, this being your W correction here, WXY here, before we can see a move higher. But if the indices are gonna make a move to the upside, then your DAX as well, this could just all be that three move start you're looking for here, and then this just makes a move to the upside. Right, so let's have a look at your UK 100. So UK 100, I was looking at this one here, that this is just a three-wave move structure here, sharp three-wave move to a downside here. My expectation that against this swing low here, this must make a move to the upside. If it break below this here, then it's going to be a different story. That will be maybe something like this here, and then we eventually make that move up a side. Right, so let's have a look at your Nikkei here. So Nikkei, this looks good here. It looks down or just a little bit of a move lower here. We might see a move higher. three-wave move to a downside, three-wave move here in the middle is our connector here, so we could be having this one to be a three-wave move. Might just a little bit of a move lower here, this being your connector here in the middle, your W here, your wave X here, and this to be our wave Y. Then we'll be expecting that move to the up side. If you are trading the indices here, watch out for Nifty. This might be one of those chart of the week. Has made a nice three-wave move structure here. This could just be it here. That this is all what we needed. Then we are ready for this move. Some people I know they might even look at this here to be an expanding flat corrective structure here, and then this move to the upside. But for now, this I like this one more here. That this could have just been a three-wave move structure here, and then we see that move to the up side. Right, so let's have a quick one on the cryptocurrencies here. Your Bitcoin hasn't disappointed. I've spoken about this one. You can also refer to our YouTube page as well, where I explain what is next on a Bitcoin here. Bitcoin made a nice impulsively move here to the upside. We took out these highs. So we took out these highs here that we've had for this year, and then that is just a confirmation of a bullish sequence to the up side. Now, as long as Bitcoin does not come and trade below this year, this will be expected to make a move to the upside. I shown you on that video how did we trade Bitcoin here when we were here. So I expected this move up. Then it just made about $8,000 move, and about 8,000 something dollar move here. You can also refer on the social media pages where I've got that chart. But going forward, your Bitcoin here, I'll be expecting that this is just going to continue higher here. I've said this one, like I don't even want to expand more. I want you guys to go and look at that video where we also discuss the alternative views that we can even have something like this, but that video will even tell you more. So for now, for next week here, I'm simply looking at this. If it does this correct somewhere around this area here, I'm just simply looking for this one at least to get you around your 40,000 to your 50,000 range. That's what I'm looking at on your Bitcoin for now. So a continuation move to the up side. Obviously, your Ethereum here, if you've seen Bitcoin, Bitcoin has already broken here. When we forecasted that chart on your Ethereum, on your Bitcoin here, we were also expecting the rest of the other cryptocurrencies to make a move to the upside. If you look at Bitcoin, it has broken above this high here. I keep on telling our members that $2,000 might be next to be seen here on your Ethereum here, or at least 2000 or above this high here. This is what I'm expecting, because Bitcoin broke above this. So Ethereum, that will mean your Bitcoin, it is leading here. It's a leading indicator. So your Ethereum should be next, that we get this one here to eventually come and check out this high, or at least to around your $2,000. So what we might see here on Ethereum on this lower time frame, it might even be something like this. So from these lows here, you can see that this has made what looks like an impulsively move. This being a move up, 1, 2, 3 here. This could be a wave 4 that it is done here. Then we get this one to be a wave 5, and then maybe we see this pull back and then the continuation higher. Alternatively, this might be it here, that this has made a move to the upside here, and then it's time for this one to pull back. If it's time for pull back on this one here, then you're gonna see this one even a structure like this. Then against these swing lows, this will be a buying opportunity, at least to take it back to your $2,000. Right, so your Litecoin, the same here. We are expecting to see a move to the upside here on your Litecoin. Structurally, have been looking at this one. Have been an expanding flat corrective structure here. Three-wave move lower here, three-wave move to the upside here, and we look at this one to have came down impulsively here. This being your 335. So looking at this here, this could just be it. A three-wave move structure like this. This being your 1, your 2 here, your wave 3 here, your wave 4 here, and then this maybe to be your wave 5. Then maybe that's when you see a pullback, and then this continuation move to the up and side. But that's what I expect to see on your Litecoin, especially against these swing lows here, or at least it should not come to around your $57.66. Then we're gonna be looking for a continuation higher. Lastly, that would be your Ripple here. So Ripple, the same thing here. We have been looking at this one to have been a sharp three-wave move to the downside here. So from these highs, we have been looking at this to be a three-wave move here. A, B, C, that has been sharp. This being your 1 here, and then this to have been your WXY, this being your wave 2 after this wave 1. So we are expecting that this should continue with the move to the up side. Right, guys, from my side, that's all what I wanted to share with you. Please trade safe and responsibly. possible, guys. If you like our content, please do press that, do subscribe to our channel, and also do press that ring bell so that every time when we release those free content, you are notified. All right, so cheers everybody and have a good one. Don't forget on our special that is currently running, you can just tune in there, and then you can grab any of the subscriptions that you think they fit you. So we are running the special that can get up to your 40% off. But cheers everybody, have a good one, and bye bye.